All right, I'm Brian Palmer, and I'm here with Jenny and Ronn Murray from Alaska Aurora Chasers, or the Aurora Chasers, sorry, and the Alaska Aurora Camp. So, Ron, can you tell me about your businesses?
Are we good?
So what
Did
can
we
you tell
freeze
us
for a
about your
second?
businesses, Ron?
I think we froze for a second there.
Okay, sorry, I missed what you were saying there.
Oh, I just introduced yourself. This is Ron Murray, and I was asking, can you tell me about your businesses, the
Yeah,
Aurora
you bet.
Chasers and the Aurora Camp?
Yeah, so my name, as Brian mentioned, is Ron Murray. I own and operate with my wife the Aurora Chasers up in Fairbanks, Alaska, and we do Northern Lights photography workshop tours. So we take people out, teach them how to photograph the aurora, get them to the best locations to do that. And then, in addition to that, we provide a service with a webcam, which is a digital SLR camera that essentially takes a photo every approximately 60 seconds and puts it up to our website so that everybody can view what the aurora is doing in real time from Fairbanks, from anywhere they are in the world.
Gotcha. Um, so, Ron, we've known each other for a little while. How did we meet?
So I
Or how
think
did that come about? Sorry.
yeah, I think we got together in the inception of the Aurora Chasers when I wanted to put that webcam out as a service. Kind of had the idea and did not have the technical ability to make it all happen. I had the gear, but no no knowledge of how it comes together. So I got in contact with, I think, Heather at that time, and she put us in touch. And you've been my tech guy ever since, making all the magic happen behind the scenes.
And we're planning to put a new revision up to that camera, right? Correct?
At some point, yes. Hoping to add some live stream capabilities to it in the future as soon as bandwidth 5G becomes available and we can get that bandwidth out and add some mirrorless systems into it and make the whole thing a lot better.
Gotcha. So, how has your business needed to pivot during this current time and situation with COVID-19 and everybody being like isolated at home?
Yeah, so that's been a hard transition. We are obviously very based on people traveling to us and taking them out for an experience, and so we've had to rethink how we do things going forward. We're hoping that at some point that all comes back to normal and we're still able to do that. But in the meantime, we've started setting up a home studio, and we will be doing some educational videos. We will be doing like Zoom chat workshops for folks who are maybe wanting to shoot some stars and Milky Way in their backyard and need some help with that. So, how to set up your camera and all of that kind of stuff. Basically, like a lot of people, doing what we can from online and through platforms like this so that we can still interact but keep our social distance.
So, do you have any like platforms like Udemy, or are you just doing it all off your website?
For
Like, how would somebody
now,
get to your education stuff?
yeah, so for now, we have not put in the infrastructure for that stuff. I'm kind of working out the technical details with this live streaming and the studio part of it. Eventually, it will go through our website. People will be able to book a workshop course online, and then we'll do a Zoom chat where they'll hop in and we'll help them with their specific camera needs and walk them through the workshop. And then as far as the educational stuff, that will eventually go through the website as well. We'll have some content that they can purchase on there if they need refreshers or some of our polished 4K Aurora footage at some point will be there as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, do you have any questions about like live streaming and technology, or
I do. Based on what you're doing, some of the things I'm trying to figure out myself is how do I get multiple cameras? Because when I'm going to educate people about their cameras, it's going to be nice to maybe have this shot of me, but also be able to
Mhm.
switch to a top-down shot so that they're able to see my camera in my hands, and how do I make that work with um, the limited gear that I have, which is one HDMI to USB adapter, right? I can't find those online anymore. They suddenly disappeared. So um, being able to bring in multiple platforms, you had mentioned being able to use your cell phone as one of your cameras, which would be brilliant because then you could walk around the studio with it and show different things.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, what are some options for making that kind of stuff work?
So there's actually a couple pieces of software. One I'm really familiar with is Livestream Studio, though it does have a hefty price tag on it. I bought it back when it was like first starting out, and I've been using it for the Ice Alaska's live stream that we do every year. But that's one piece of switching software, allows you to add graphics, intros. It's and have multiple camera setups, even more than just two. But you also have a program called OBS Studio, which is actually free, and it's actually, to my surprise, is really powerful. Um, and I don't think I would go buy Livestream Studio again if I had the choice between OBS Studio and Livestream, because it really is powerful enough to handle multi cameras, graphics. It allows you to stream out. Um,
And it's open source, right?
I'm not exactly sure if it's open source, but it is publicly available. Well, no, they do have the development environment available, but I'm not sure if it's open source. I'd have to look into that. Um, but a bunch of people have built plugins for it to do different kinds of things, to add multiple cameras, um, and different things like that. So that is actually a really good piece of software to look into. Um, the other thing, along with working with your cell phone, is you'll want to look into a protocol called NDI, which was developed by Adobe back in the or Macromedia back in the early days. And the new tech just released applications for your cell phone, and a lot of the new switching software allows NDI, which allows you to basically not have a capture card in your computer when sending video. So that USB to HDMI device you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
right? This gets rid of that,
Oh, really?
and so you don't. It's way cheaper to get involved with NDI than it is to, but you'll have to have a good network to set it up, because it runs over your network, whether it's Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Um, and then there actually are a few actual capture cards still available. Blackmagic makes them, and I think a company called Ego. A lot of gamers use it to capture their PlayStations and
Elgato, yeah.
um, yeah, Gato, yeah, and they make capture cards that will take HDMI input.
But and then there's also, a person doing your live streams, whether into Zoom or into your website or wherever, whatever platform you want to do it in. It's sometimes kind of tricky to be switching all of this yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so the nice thing about what Brian has taught me is like literally practicing with him to do the switching of the programs, or even you said there might be a way where you can take an extra mobile device like a tablet
Hmm.
or a phone and let that to be your like remote control to push the buttons that are going to switch on your computer.
Oh, nice, nice. So basically, that could be
So maybe you walked.
your switcher panel for the producer, or yourself if you're being the producer.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, sometimes you don't just need a whole keyboard on your desk when you're switching something and you're doing a solo rig. So having like a tablet with the ability to control hotkeys and stuff like that on your computer that you just have, and it has buttons on it that you just push, um, can allow a much smaller space on your desk, and you don't have to have this big keyboard. The other thing is, if you're mobile too, like you walked across the room with your cell phone and you have something set up over there, but then you also have your cell phone, and you need to switch between different things, you can use a device like that to allow you to switch your software that's running on the computer across the room.
Nice, nice.
So, yeah. You got any more questions, Ron?
No, I mean I'm sure that I'm going to as I start delving into more of this.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of technology out there and a lot of cool things you can do.
It's awesome that you're providing a service like this. I guess my question, what if I or other folks wanted to get involved with you and have your expertise and your coaching throughout this process, what's the cost for that?
So we're looking at doing like a like it's like $500 a month, and it's like a subscription based system. So basically, we're gonna have hours that you will do phone calls like during the week that you can just make phone calls. But if you have questions, you can shoot out. We can answer them by email, and um, we'll get on like Zoom chat and things like that to do all the technical things, maybe remoting in and showing you how to do things with video. But the cost for
Nice.
that is $500 a month.
And
Nice.
the nice thing about it, which I mean, you as an entrepreneur how knows how valuable your time is it might take you guys practicing and hooking it up 4 hours, but then you're like, oh, the next day I have some more questions. Oh, I can just like make sure that I can block a time to talk to Ryan again. Oh, but I have some more questions. And then you can just keep utilizing that. I mean, it's not 24/7
Yeah,
service, but it's
Right.
it's
pretty
definitely
much
can get
is
your questions
available.
answered.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I can say
And the
from
way you
my
go about
sorry, I can
oh,
say
go
from
ahead, sorry.
my experience with the webcam support, Brian, you're awesome. I mean, uh, just yeah, amazing help.
Oh,
And
cool.
then also that way, if people just want 1 month and get it set up and ask all their questions intensely, have a 1 month boot camp of everything, then you don't need a services anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not here to sell equipment. You can look up all that stuff yourself, and we're not here to tell you what to use, especially people who've got to bootstrap it because they're totally shifting and they don't know where to start and just use what they got right now. As a small business owner, it is so important not to go spend like 5 grand on video equipment right now if that's what I'm not used to doing. Because
Right.
I don't even know how to use it right now. So
Right.
building up with what you got and then evolving it as it goes.
Yeah, that's a fair. I mean, even people
Yeah.
who are in that world, right? I've seen several TV hosts who are now having to run their shows from home, and they don't have their normal crew, and they're overwhelmed, and they don't know how to do it, right? So people who are around that all the time. So yeah, I would be. I mean, this is going to be a great service for folks to just, like you said, make the most of your cell phone. I mean, that's going to be handy.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Ron. You can jump on to our Facebook group, our Facebook page, Technical Live Stream Solutions. That's our official page. And then for people that want to book a consultation, they can book right there on the Facebook page while we're still getting the website and everything else up and running.
Awesome. Thanks,
But
Brian.
yeah, one thing that I would say, Ron, is to make sure that you just start getting your stuff out there. If you know you're going to start teaching these online classes, and you probably know this from marketing, is like don't wait until somebody else has gotten there before you. Just get it out there, even if it's imperfect, and just say, hey, this is what we're going to do. If you're interested, at least email me.
That's great advice.
All right. Well, thank you, Ron. I'll catch you next
Awesome.
time.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.